Hello and welcome back to another episode of Faeria. So in the last episode you may remember we started the Sharra Mission pack. We've done a few of those and we left it with it telling us that we had an epic mission coming up. So we're going to get into that. We're then hopefully going to be able to bolster our deck a bit further. And also maybe branch out into some of the other areas, because it'd be pretty cool to be able to kind of play some of the water and fire cards. I know we haven't quite got such a stash of those. We could probably have a go with the red starter. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what this actually means, the number, but I know that we've not got a full set of cards for the blue invasion and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go for it. Let's be bold and play the red starter pack. You know, what's going to happen? We lose, we can switch back to green, we can win that way, but we might as well try this thing out. We've also got a daily mission which is to play, I think, 10 red cards, so this will also kind of give us a bonus in terms of I think it's coin, something like that, so that we can then go out and purchase some more bits. Okay, so starting off, Barbarian Ogre is a decent card, so is the Steamforged Enforcer. Steamforged Enforcer is cheaper and doesn't require the tiles, but we're kind of going to want to get those out there at some point, and you will gain the advantage of having slightly better skills off of this guy. So I'm thinking, get rid of that one. Keep the Imperial Guard. He's pretty decent for the cost, and we need some low level ones. We've picked up a Steamforged as well. Windfast. Tarum's power grows over time. Okay, so we need to try and rush at the start, so fair enough. Steamforged production, a random friendly creature gains +1/+0, so every turn that we have this deployed we're going to gain some stats. That's pretty damn useful. So it suggests that we rush straight away, so we do that. I think if we drop the Imperial Guard down there, on our next go we possibly can put the Steamforged in, which will allow us to boost him. Okay. So we picked up our Steamforged Enforcer anyway. There you go. So I'm thinking we're probably going to need to start putting some of these guys down, so we can move him forwards, drop that in there, and then we can start kind of giving things a buff from this Steamforged guy. We can't do anything with these at the minute, so we'll end it there. Pulling out the Prairie Yak. I'm pulling out all the cards. The Blazing Salamander deals 2 damage to all adjacent enemy creatures when it's summoned, so that's pretty cool. Ideally we'd want that right in there. That'd do boom 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 boom, lots of damage. But I don't know if that's possible. You see we got a little buff there from this guy, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately he doesn't gain a health buff because yeah, he's still at risk, but so I'm thinking we'll drop one of those in there because we're going to need 2 of those to be able to deploy either of these guys. Maybe wait a turn because then we can drop in the Ogre and then the Salamander possibly in there somewhere. So what was that? If this creature has less than 5 life, gain +1/+1, so we need to take him out quickly as well. So that's not too bad because we could actually deploy this Blazing Salamander guy in here. It deals 2 damage to all adjacent enemies, so that'll take out both of those. So that's pretty decent, to be fair. So I'm thinking that's probably a good move. We can stick another one of those down, that gets us in right close. Can't deploy anything else, so that's kind of it for now. That guy should get his buff on his next turn from our production factory, the Steamforged. Wow, look at that! We've picked up a lot what's this? Doom Scythe. Destroy a creature and summon a 6/1 slaughtering shadow in its place. Wow. Seems pretty powerful. So that would be useful on this guy probably. We do need to defend our Steamforge from this though, because he will take that out in one go. Although I don't think we got anything. I suppose we could use this on that one. That would kind of. It's not ideal, but it does kind of save our Steamforge, which I think is probably quite important. Move this guy forwards. What else we got? So we picked up a Red Devil, which looks relatively powerful and gives you a nice return on your investment. This stage, well, what else could we do? I suppose if we pop that down there, we can then drop another one in there. We get us right in close to home. There's also the opportunity to get the Faeria boosts that might be good, but we don't really have much to deploy near there, so I'm going to do that for now. Remember what he said, he gets stronger over time, so we need to kill him early. Wow, these guys really are quite powerful. Deals 2 damage to your opponent, so if we drop him in there, we can get our first hit of damage on that. Slaughtering Shadow does 7 damage, does only have 1 bit of life though, so we will die as soon as we use him, but it's going to take out a lot of that guy. Or we could just wait there. If we do that, I don't know, if we do that, he'll attack us, but he's going to gain the extra points. It's a difficult decision sometimes. We drop that down there. We can put the Mace Man in. We're in reasonable attacking. I think I'm going to leave this guy, wait for him to attack me. That kind of saves us another turn on the Steamforge. Yeah. Playing it risky, I think, to a degree, but shame. So he's put some landmass in, so he can actually move around us if he wants to. Just like that. That's kind of what I didn't want to happen. Because we are getting in a bit of a mess. So we got 8 damage now. So if we can wait one more turn, we'd be all right. But he's going to attack us again for another 6 points, which is pretty potent. But then saying that, I don't think there's much else we can really do. If we attack him, we'll lose him. So we might as well get some extra damage in on that guy. Oh, decisions. We can't kill him. This could be challenging. I think we've got to take that. We've got to do it that realistically, because we really need his life to be down quite low for us to be able to take him out at some point, hopefully. Tempted to take more Faeria because we don't really need to necessarily put in any more tiles. We've got enough of the mountain tiles down, and the extra points might be quite useful. Yeah, we'll go with that. See what happens, eh? God damn. Oh, that's ridiculously harsh. Village Elder, and we can't actually deploy anything in there now to take that guy out, so we're pretty much screwed here. Yeah, I literally think there is nothing we can do to avoid him attacking us and taking out another 6. Yeah, we might have to concede on this one. Because we can't take him out in that number of turns. We could deploy that guy there. We'd see. I think we'd get him, but we're not gonna get him on another go because we can't get enough moves in. Yeah. So we should have stuck with our green deck, I think. See, it's pretty much game over now. Yeah, we can't deploy that in there at all. Oh dear. What a shame. Get it over and done with. Go on, finish me off. Sad times. So that was a pretty epic match, and we definitely need to sort of take something away from that and learn. Completed a daily quest, always useful. We got 5 out of our 10 red cards played, so that's not amazing. So we'll give it another go, but we'll go in there with our green starter deck. See whether sticking with what we know helps. I think it's still going to be pretty tough because he does come at you quite quick, and we didn't have that many sort of really destructive things in with the green deck. Okay, it's not too bad a starting kit, so I'll keep that. Boom boom. Stick with the rush opening. Not really much point in deploying that guy there. Might as well wait until we can kind of get right in close. Ah, the Verduran Force. I do love you. Yeah, so we need 2 forests for that though. Wonder whether that's worth. If we kind of take a couple of turns to deploy a forest, another forest, we can deploy that guy there, and then that's a decent shout. Then if we can drop out the Shamanic Dance on the Verduran Force, that'll kind of boost up his health even further. So yeah, that'd be pretty tasty. It's getting all grizzly on us. Okay, so we can't go in where we would like to have gone, but we can still kind of move up slightly. We can do that. We can drop this guy in there, and we're making some good tracks there. What else? So we could deploy the Elderwood Hermit as well, or we could save up those points a little bit. I'm guessing we might as well use that on this guy right now. Get the extra life, get the taunt, and then progress on. Okay, so if we deploy another forest here, we can move this guy in here. We've got the taunt effect on the go now. I'm going to take that out, just like that. Next go, he should then come in with me. Okay, so when we take that out, that's when we get the scythe. Interesting. So we could actually use that on that guy. That would then get us the extra point and move, and gives us someone right up that end again. Don't have quite enough points though yet to do it. If we deploy the Elderwood Hermit down here, hopefully we can kind of let him die. Her die? It's a her, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like, I'm sure that's a her anyway. Let her die on her next go, and then that'll give possibly this guy a super boost again. Don't run away from me. Don't wuss out. Oh, you did wuss out as well. Okay, so we got another one there that we can have a crack at. Kingsguard. That's another tasty card. So we do that. Boom. Potent. Proper potent. And then move him in there and get our first attack on the go. On his next go, he's going to still have to attack me again, and we've still got a really good life. So don't think there's any point in using the Doom Scythe on that guy. He can move in there and have an attack on us, but you know what? Does it really matter? Yeah, okay, so what else we got? Ancient Beastmaster. When you summon a creature with 5 or life more, it gains +1/+1. Yeah. Gains extra life if we have 2 forests, which we do. So we could deploy that guy. He'd be a good defensive spot. That will do us there. Probably, do we need to, can we? No, there's probably not really much point in dropping any more tiles down, so I might just take another Faeria. That'll help us on our next go. Potentially. Ooh, in turn. Not too worried about that. Oh, the Walking Fortress as well. This is just like a handful of my favourite cards. I can't use them all, but you know, still pretty sweet spot. Boom, he's down to 2 life now, so that's pretty useful. Imperial Guard, can we drop the Imperial anywhere? Is it worth using this guy? So we might as well take out him. Drop the Imperial Guard down there, and then on our next go we should be able to finish the game off as a much more solid round. Right, so let's bring death to Groot. Pleased with that. So green deck did as well. Much better than I expected it to. So obviously we need to sort of power up our red deck a bit before we can kind of take on some of these guys. But I guess we may unlock some of those cards over time. Nice little reward there, loot box. See what we get. There's a quest mission coming up. So let's check out our loot box. Boom, 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 boom. Okie dokie. So we gained the Triton Diver, which has got an aquatic jump. Alright. We'll kind of understand a bit more about that when we actually try playing with the water packs, I suppose. Ruining the Relentless. -2, good. Last words, return rune into your hand, and she gains +2/+2. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting actually. So you kind of reuse that card and it gets more powerful. The Windborn Emissary, well, we haven't really used the Sun deck much, but so this one's got a flying ability and has +2/+0 while you're controlling another flying creature, so that's pretty reasonable. The Blood Singer is for our red deck. Whenever an enemy creature dies, deal 1 damage to your opponent. That's pretty cool, so if you can put that in a defensive position and then kind of kill off a few of their creatures, kind of takes a little bit out of the opponent. The Wood Elemental has got a taunt and creates a forest when we summon it, so that's not too bad. That might be worth getting into the deck. Yeah, you're out of chests. Okay, let's see if we can slide that one in to our green starter pack. Wood Elemental, isn't it? So it's a 4-pointer, requires one of these jobbies. Thinking what we got. So the Grove Guardian's a taunter. So this is another taunter, but he creates as a forest and he's slightly cheaper. So maybe it's worth getting rid of one of our Grove Guardians and firing that in there. We'll give it a go. Have we already got one? Huh, that kind of suggests we've already got one. Never seen it pop up. Oh, well, we'll leave it at that then, actually. Tiki Healer, have we got a Tiki Healer? Thinking that we got some cards before that we haven't actually looked at. Tiki Healer, you gain 6 life. I'm going to stick that in instead. Something different. Try it out, see. Okay. What does it say on our daily quests? Gives us a new one. Dressed for success. Play a game with a special orb or avatar. Okay. I don't know. I don't know whether we've got anything like that we can do. Let's have a look. Avatar. So we've got the Azure Sprite. So we might as well try that out. So is that applied? Do we have a special orb? The Arcane Stone. I think that's applied now. So try that out. See whether we get the extra points. Okay, let's give this quest a go then. Based on past experience, I think it's worth us sticking with the green starter. Okay, dokie. Kingsguard. Oh. Not bad cards. I might get rid of the Savannah Explorer because I can't deploy it until really we've got 2 forests, otherwise it's not really worth it. So trade that one in. Oh, the Tiki Healer. There you go, straight away, straight out the deck. We don't really know much about Sharra. Presume it's not as an attacking character because it's not kind of giving us that little hint, so I think we'll stick with our usual approach of dropping over to pick up the extra Faeria and see what happens. Hopefully we get a low level card as well, which we can drop down on that. Okay, so she's coming in for the kill. The farm boy. Interesting selection of low level cards popping out there. The village elder, just what we needed. Ask and you shall receive, the old load cards. So now that we've got that, I'm thinking it's probably worth us starting to... Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll go for a forest. Get a forest out. Because we're going to need it if we want to deploy our Tiki Healer. These guys don't need it at the minute, but at some point we're going to get more of those forest cards on us. That's kind of what I wanted to avoid, being trapped in like that, but didn't have much choice. Quite an attacking play going on here so far, but they're very low level cards, nothing particularly worrying. The Savannah Explorer's back, no point in using that right now. Do we want to deploy the Kingsguard yet? Up against the farm boy. The taunt ability doesn't really kind of gain us much at this stage, so I might just deploy the warrior as it's slightly cheaper, and it'll do just as good a job. We're not going to do anything with the village elder. Keep that guy there, and put forest out that. Gotta be careful. Is our farm boy going to go for us there? No, just moving into position. That's kind of reasonable. So if we deployed the Elderwood Hermit down here and attack the farm boy, then we'll actually kind of gain the +2/+4, so that kind of gives a nice little buff for one of our characters. Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't know whether it's worth using on these particular ones, but then at the same point it is random, so it could still go onto these at some point in the future. So no, we'll just take out the farm boy with that guy. That protects our village elder. See if we can kind of deploy a couple of these prairies to kind of get us around a little bit, and then maybe leave it at that. Gain the extra points. And wait until we're in a better position to attack, because right now defensively we're doing okay. warrior versus warrior. Unfortunately, mine's not quite as powerful right now. So I'm going to boop those in there, because that really does get us in close, but we've kind of got options still for deploying some forests. We can't deploy the Beastmaster up this sort of direction at the minute, but what we can do is drop in the King's Guard, deploy him up there. Cartographer's going to have to attack us most likely, or not do anything, and yeah, we're in a reasonable spot there. Yeah, leave it at that. I was thinking about deploying the Elderwood Hermit there, but the buff might not go on our what is it? Our King's Guard. Protection, sneaky protection. So we've got a Seedling, which is a nice production factory sort of character, but he's not really in a safe position to deploy right now. So ideally we need to kind of move this guy forwards. Every time he is in combat we draw a card, remember. If we move this warrior over there, actually we could just take out that guy with that one, sort of like that, or exactly like that. The Beastmaster's got a 3/4. First attack on him's not going to do anything. We need a 4. We need something that does 4 damage ideally. Just 3. He's got 6 life, so it would be okay. So it might be worth deploying him there. Then we can do a couple of attacks, and we're okay taking out the Prairie Yak. Still got 4 life, but we definitely want to do that. Savannah Explorer gains extra life if we deploy it now, because we've got enough forest, so that one might be worth deploying up here. That way we can kind of get in some more attacks, so we can do sort of 6 damage per turn. Pretty useful at this sort of stage. Blimey, another warrior. They're coming out all over the place, those guys are. The Wild Avenger. Ah, it's a shame we haven't got the 6. So yeah, we were going to attack with that. Then we're sort of on a level playing field really there. We can do boom, boom. The Grove Guardian with Point. Paunt could be deployed. If we took the Faeria, but is it worth it? Seedling we could deploy here and it's safe for like a go, but he'd move there and take him out, so it's probably a wasted twosome. Do you have any creatures with 5 life or more? That guy does, so that would be useful to deploy after the fact. So if we could drop the Beastmaster down there, it's not too shabby. Then maybe, yeah, maybe take the extra Faeria. Thinking we can then move the Beastmaster over and collect the Faeria from that well in future. Boom, lots of cards galore. Love it. Oh, this is crazy. I've got too many cards. I don't know what to do. Oh, so confused. Holy cow, Batman. What was that? Oh, because we've got so many cards, it's just destroyed whatever we picked up then. Wow. Well, we might as well do that attack anyway. So we've got 5 points to deploy, so that kind of throws out a few. The Tiki Caretaker's arrived, so he gives a nice buff to any of our characters. So if we move him over there, we could deploy the Tiki Caretaker, but this also gives +1/+1 to anything with 5 life or more. So the Grove Guardian would benefit. We can afford the Wild Avenger now as well. So if we kind of deployed him there, could move him up there. It's got a taunt on it, so this guy's going to have to either attack one of these guys. I'd guess he'd go for the King's Guard, but it still kind of puts the Wild Avenger in a decent spot. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Take the extra Faeria points and survive. Oh, I should have done that attack there. Oh well, we'll be all right. Kind of knew that was coming, but we have that kind of game 1 life for each time you've been dealt damage this game, so the Wild Avenger's looking tasty. It's important for us to move him up to do more damage, I would have thought, although we got a couple. No, we'll just attack at this stage, I think. He's going to get a buff for taking damage. You can leave that guy there, might as well do the damage there. Might as well save him getting the extra points. Tiki Healer, we could use that, but we probably don't really necessarily need it. What else we got? We've got 6 that we can deploy. So we've got the Caretaker, Elementals, the Taunt, which creates a forest, which we don't really need right now. Yeah, we haven't got much that we actually kind of really need to deploy. If I deploy the Caretaker, I can buff that guy and then we can win on our next turn. We'll do that. Oh, my village elder. Waryak has +2/+0 while your opponent has 10 life or less. That's pretty cool. Like his little sort of helmety sort of thing. Wild Avenger, I might as well do some just for funsies. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Little victory there. Happy with that. Daily quest complete. We are dressed for success. And another little mission completed. So we've got an epic mission to finish on there with Sharra. We managed to kind of get through 3 games there. I know we lost the first one, so we didn't actually kind of get through 3 missions as such. But I'm going to leave this episode there. So in our next one, we're going to get to finish off the Sharra pack, hopefully. And maybe get the first 1 or 2 out of the Sifa pack, or possibly whatever replaces the Sharra pack off the back of that. So yeah, tune in to find out what happens and whether Sharra manages to pull out some pretty epic cards in this epic mission. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. Love to see you on Twitter, or for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Got lots of stuff coming out. We've got Ark, we've got The Long Dark, we've got Rocket League, there's Faeria. Love to get another battle set up with Masterless for you guys to watch, because that was really good fun for us, and hopefully it was entertaining for you guys to kind of see us kind of a bit of bants, and also sort of trying to work out what was going on. I quite enjoyed watching Masterless's video of it, seeing from his perspective what he had in his hand and what he was thinking about, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.